Morning, Paula. Morning, David.
Morning, Bruce. Morning,
Morning.
Kevin.
How are you?
Doing well.
Morning,
Great.
everyone.
I'm kind of in the shadows here. I'm in an unusual place for me. Sorry, my backdrop's not ideal.
Oh, it's okay. No worries.
Hmm.
I know we have a couple students strolling in, but like I said, I am gonna start promptly at 9. So I'll just give everybody time to stroll in. And then we will get started. Overview of this, like I said, is just going to be me going over a couple slides and then introducing you guys and then our students and then Q&A at the end. My colleagues will be joining to help with the Q&A. So it should be good. But I'll give everybody some time.
Thanks, Paul.
It is 9 o'clock. Like I said, I will get started. And I do want to just say thank you to everybody who has joined. And then also appreciate anybody who is logging in from around the world. It might be nighttime, morning time, who knows, but do appreciate you guys joining us. But first of all, I do want to introduce myself. I am Paola Mejia. I work here at USC Viterbi, specifically in the graduate and recruitment team. And then I am joined by some of our faculty, advisors, and students, and then along some of my colleagues who will be helping with the Q&A. So at any point, if anybody has questions, feel free to drop them in the Q&A, but we will be sure to get to them towards the end of this presentation. To give you a little rundown, I will be just going over some important information on behalf of our school and team. And then I will hand it over to our faculty advisor, and then we'll go over our student panel. So feel free to drop any questions at any time. First of all, I just want to say congratulations on your admission. We do welcome you to the Trojan family. So it is a big, big thing. No matter if you're applied to this school, many schools, we are excited to have you. So that being said, I will tell you a little bit about USC Viterbi. So USC Viterbi is known for and has many, many resources. So a lot of our main points, and I think important points are, just career outcomes, academic goals, just anything after graduation. Most of you guys are obviously going to school to, achieve some goal. So there is a lot of career outcomes, academic goals that come along with USC Viterbi. And then also our location, as you know, we are in the heart of Los Angeles, so it is beautiful weather here for the most part. And then we do have a really, really big Trojan network. So once you become a Trojan, you have access to the Trojan network, and that is exclusive access that you can reach out to any student slash alum. So there is a whole platform to this. And then aside from that, just being out and about, you will meet Trojans everywhere. We are worldwide. And then the last big part of USC Viterbi, I will say, is our research opportunities. So our school does a lot of research. If you are interested in that, please take a look in our database just to see what research is actually occurring. And then if that interests you, you can also look into that. And then I'll give you a little bit of the Viterbi facts. So a lot of you guys may not know these facts. So there is over 100,000 alumni worldwide. We are ranked 20th by the U.S. News and World Report. And then, like I said, we are really big at research here. So we do have 179 plus million annual research expenditures. So a lot of money towards research here. And then we have 213 tenure track faculty. It was founded in 1905. So we've been around for some time. And then our female to male ratio is 31 to 69. So that's kind of what our school looks like. And then I did mention that we are all over the world. So we do have applicants from over 113 countries. And then we do have an online option and then an on-campus option. So basically 83% of our population is on campus, and then there's 17% who is online. And then because we are located in Los Angeles, like I mentioned, it's a beautiful, beautiful city. Obviously, weather is great here, but it is a global hub for innovation. And what does that mean? Basically, we have something called the Silicon Beach, and that is just a one, it could be a startup or, big companies and corporations like these. And these are all accessible to you. So there is, a lot of Trojans who are involved in either startups or work at these places already. So there is opportunities for you to, get involved here. And then also just like look into it, maybe do an internship. Obviously, endless opportunities, but we do have Silicon Beach, if you guys are familiar, basically a little bit similar to Silicon Valley. And then again, you're coming to school, right? So what are the career outcomes? So basically, all the career outcomes are actually listed on our website. And then this image, as you can see here, so if you go to any of our program pages, career outcomes are actually listed for every program. So if you're interested in just seeing like, hey, I'm in analytics and where do these people graduate and where do they work? That is accessible to you. So I would take some time if you are interested in just looking where our students end up going. So that is an option. And then we also have something called Viterbi Career Connections. It's basically our very own career connections specifically for our engineering schools, which is super cool because you still have access to the General USC Career Center, but then we also have the Career Center for Viterbi, specifically for engineers. And there's extensive resources and support and programming and just like valuable industry connections. So every semester, they host all these events and just programming for our students. For example, they have 120 plus Viterbi career activities. So whether that's, a fair or they have some companies come and speak to you guys, there's like mock sessions. So there is opportunities for you guys to get involved in that way. And then they also support you guys in, job hunting and like preparing for interviews, all of that. And what does that mean? They basically post jobs for Viterbi students if you're interested in just looking into what they have to offer. And then we are connected to 139 employers and 510 recruiters who actually attend the biggest career and internship expo that is hosted by USC. So there is endless networking opportunities here. Obviously, you would just have to put yourself out there, take your resume, and do all that, but it is there for you. And then they do host information sessions. So like I mentioned, a lot of companies will come out to USC and then do these info sessions for our students. And you just have to sign up to attend. And then some of the special activities that we have for Viterbi students are basically the Grad Student Career Readiness Week, How to Get Hired series, networking events, like I said, mock interviews, company site visits, alumni panels, and mixers. So we're not short on connections here or support for our students to see all these activities and events. So if you are interested, please explore that. And then you may wonder, well, what are the next steps? What do I do now? Basically, we encourage you to explore all our events. What does that mean? So we have in-person and virtual admitted student events. For example, this one. We also do have in-person events specifically for admitted students. We do have one coming up this Friday, which is also known as Visit Viterbi. And basically, it is a big event where you can come and see faculty, advisors, students, everybody who's involved in Viterbi, and then just be here, get to know USC, understand what we're about, see our resources, and then ask any questions that you may have. It is a good opportunity for you just to feel campus as well. So I highly encourage you to attend if you are available. And then we also have a virtual tour of USC. So maybe some of you guys are across the world and you can't make it, but we do have options for you to just virtually see USC and maybe just, go through that. The other big opportunity that you do have is to chat with a student ambassador, which you can meet some of them later on. And I will provide a link for that as well. But basically, it is a current Viterbi graduate student that is basically in your shoes and can also give you tips and tricks about, just joining USC, kind of understanding what it is to be a student here. And then, anything you have in terms of questions in terms of academics, USC life, maybe just living in Los Angeles. Anything along those lines, you are free to ask them, and they are happy to answer. And then obviously you want to learn a little bit more about our community, our services, our resources, including student organizations, wellness initiatives, and more. But if you are interested in just like digging into what we have to offer, you can go ahead and scan this QR code. It takes you right to our admitted student page where you can find all this information. The other thing that I do want to note is that you should check your email regularly for more information. We do send out upcoming events, resources, reminders. So just be on the lookout. And then important notes here. So in order to accept your admission whenever you are ready, you have to submit your statement of intent and commitment deposit by the deadline that is posted in your USC portal. So what does that mean? You have to log on to your portal and check your deadline. And then you would go through the process of submitting your statement of intent and then your deposit to secure your spot. So whenever you are ready, please make sure to log on to the portal. I know sometimes students are confused on how to accept that, but you will find all of that information in your portal. And then after you have submitted your statement of intent, what's next? Basically, if you do need to request your I-20, you start the visa process. So that's one big step there. You also get access to pre-orientation resources. So like I said, we send you guys emails. So please make sure to look at those. And then you can also have the opportunity to join the Viterbi mentorship program. It's basically you get paired up with a student that is more than likely in your department. And it's basically a buddy for you to have support in transitioning here at USC. Exactly what it is. It's a mentorship program. And it's a great resource for you just to immerse yourself in our community and then also just get support because maybe some of you guys are moving from across the world and it could be scary, which we totally understand, but we definitely want that resource to be there for you if you need it. And then obviously connect with your department through academic webinars such as this one. And then we can also help explore and secure housing options. So again, some of you guys need to secure housing near USC or at USC, so start looking into that if you are interested. And now I'll hand it over to Dr. Wilcox. He is our senior lecturer of industrial and systems engineering. And then we also are joined by our advisor, which I will show over here, which is our senior advisor for our department here. It is David. And then we also are joined by some student ambassadors, and they all are majoring in analytics. But they will go over some of important highlights of our department and then go over some questions and then answer any questions that you may have. So in the meantime, I will stop sharing and then give co-host abilities to make co-host. Here we go.
All right. Thank you, Paula. Are you seeing my screen?
Yes, we can see
Okay.
it.
Okay, very good. Thank you. And good morning, and welcome to everybody who is listening. And actually, I should say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you happen to be in the world today. Um, so I'll just take a few minutes, introduce myself, introduce the MS Analytics program. First, let me add congratulations to your acceptance and best wishes as you make a significant decision here as to what your next steps are. Quick introduction to myself here, and I'm going to talk a little bit about this program called Analytics that you have applied for, and hopefully will be joining. And then I'll get into some more specifics of our program. And lastly, I'm going to talk about some additional activities and resources that are available here within our program. So, as Paula said, I'm on the faculty here at USC. In addition to teaching a number of some of the classes here in our program, I'm the program director, which means I have some level of responsibility for curriculum and overall program success. I thought I'd start with we start with basically, what is analytics? Because I think there is some of you may be not quite clear in your head, even though you've applied for and gotten accepted into an analytics program. But before I get to that, I need to give the little background. We are part of the Industrial and Systems Engineering department here in Viterbi. And I have to brag a little bit. Paula said that Viterbi is in the top 20. Well, we're in the top 10 of ISE departments in the country, according to U.S. News and World Report. So we're very proud of that. Well, I suspect a number of you are not quite clear what industrial engineering is, industrial systems engineering is. And it's a department that's been around for quite some time. I think it goes back to the 1940s here at USC. Not every engineering school has such a department. A lot do. But broadly speaking, it is oh, I'm sorry, did I wasn't showing the right screen here. It is I would define it as the application of engineering, advanced technologies to optimize business processes, to improve quality, efficiency, accuracy of business processes. So it's a very applying of advanced technologies for that purpose. It's inherently a multidisciplinary process. It involves, primarily statistics, um, programming and use of tools, and business analysis. So as such, we get backgrounds in all of from our incoming students. You have backgrounds in all of those areas. We get students coming from statistics background, from computer science backgrounds, but also from a variety of business domains and social science backgrounds, with a reasonable quantitative background that made us comfortable you'd be able to be successful here in our program. You're no doubt aware that there are different programs. There's master's programs in analytics and there's master's programs in data science. And I always get asked, what's the difference? USC has master's programs in data science as well, offered by a computer science department. And I wouldn't be surprised if some of you have applied to that program as well. I always get asked, what's the difference? And the in summary here, let's see here, is this working? Oh, sorry here. Technology problem. Yeah. So, so I was going to ask, what is the distinction between analytics and data science? And my best way of explaining it is that there's a lot of overlap. We use the same technologies, we use the same underlying mathematics, but we use them for different focus. Analytics is all about, as I said a moment ago, analyzing and improving business processes by enhancing decision making and operational efficiency. Data science has a focus on developing advanced data products and solutions. Data science, the results of that work ends up in products, and the analytics work ends up in informing business decisions. Now that's a broad generalization, and certainly many of our alumni are working in roles that I might call data science, and I have no doubt that many data science graduates end up in roles that I would call analytics. But but that is our focus. Our focus is very much application to improve business processes. And actually, I was going through, I realized I have my introductory slide. I didn't talk about myself here. Not that it matters that much, but let me go back quickly. Um, Program director here, as you can see my academic background, I have an engineering background, also an MBA, PhD in applied mathematics. But I had a long career in consulting, nearly 40 years. And before coming full-time teaching at USC for the last 5 years, 4 years. My last 10 years or so were in analytics consulting, the last 8 of which were with a company some of you will be familiar with called SAS, a major analytics software and consulting company here in the US. And in that capacity, I was responsible for all of the company's business in California with public sector clients. So I have a lot of experience in analytics consulting and working with clients. University background, I taught while I was working in consulting, I taught many semesters on a part-time basis and joined USC on a full-time basis in the fall of 2021. Okay, let me go back here. So going back to what is analytics here? So analytics professionals are employed in virtually every industry. And if we look at where our alumni work, where our alumni are currently working, they're working in almost any industry I can imagine. I would say some of the major industries that employ analytics people are certainly healthcare, certainly finance, investment, insurance type industries, but it's entertainment, sports, across the board. Analytics professionals, tend to prefer being in a position to be able to work with business users, business clients, and work with them to understand and improve business processes. It typically involves working closely with business stakeholders, and communication skills, business skills are important. So, I don't want to overly generalize, but I think of analytics as a consulting type role, to be honest. I often say that all analytics jobs are in some sense consulting jobs. That's not to say that most of our students go to work for consulting companies. They don't. A majority go to work within larger companies on analytics teams, but they are acting as consultants to their internal clients, to their business stakeholders. A fairly recent trend here in both analytics and data science is, this is a fairly new discipline. Our program's been around since 2017, 2018, I can't recall. And most programs, at universities have been around about that time period, or even a shorter time. A major employer now. The field of analytics, as we see it, is specialized into a variety of subspecialties. I broadly, to talk about data engineering / analytics engineering / ML engineering. Some of you may be familiar with some of those job titles: data engineer, analytics engineer, MLE, machine learning engineer, which is focused kind of on the infrastructure, the data preparation activities. There's a lot of jobs in that. Data analysis, the traditional business analysis, using these technologies and tools to analyze business data, make decisions. Data science, that's a broad term, but when I use that term, I'm thinking more on the statistical, mathematical aspects of it, developing predictive models, machine learning, applied inference, applied prediction. And I've added AI engineering. Of course, this is a hot relatively new job category, and we are offering some new classes in this field. And just to broadly try to define this, this is not creating new large language models or generative AI models. That's the domain of computer science. What this is, it's using these generative AI models within applications to automate and improve business processes. So AI engineering, many of you have heard the term AI agents. AI agent development. We have classes that talk about that and how to develop AI agents. So I'll get to the curriculum here, right here. So overview our curriculum, and I should comment here that this is close, but not 100% accurate to what you'll see in the online catalog today. But this will be in the online catalog here when it's next updated in the next couple of months, and will apply to you all when you enter next fall, if those of you who join us. There's 3 required classes, so we have 20. There's 7 4-credit classes. It's the standard path here to this master's degree. Most students complete it in 4 semesters. Some complete it in 3, but most students take 4 semesters to complete it. And there are 3 required classes that we start out with. ISE 521, Foundations of Analytics. We recommend, or strongly recommend that all students take that in their first semester. It's meant to provide, as the name implies, the foundations, the baseline here of skills needed to be successful in your subsequent classes. Predictive analytics, kind of the core modeling, the core statistical class that underlies a lot of what we do, and then optimization for analytics, which provides the core underlying mathematics for what we do. So 3 required classes. And then that leaves 4 electives, one of which we require to be a project-based elective, a class that has a major project as part of the curriculum. And many students want to take more than one project-based elective. I think they're generally a good idea for both for learning and for getting experience relevant to job searches. And then 2 methodology electives, which are selected from a variety of topics that allow you to specialize somewhat in whatever branch of analytics you're interested in. And a free elective, which we give you a fair amount of latitude in choosing here, so long as it's related to the topic. Here's some of our electives, many of our electives here, and this is not official. This is my grouping. These groupings are not official. This is how I group along the lines, our electives along the lines of which career path you may be interested in focusing on. And you don't have to select a career path to focus on. You could easily choose to be a generalist and to get some background in all of the fields, aspects of analytics. But many students find it beneficial, as they get into the program, into their first, second semester, to say, okay, I really want to focus on this. I want to target this type of job, whether it's a data engineering job or a data analyst job or a data scientist job. So, these are the list of not all the electives, but most of the primary electives that apply to that our students take. I'm not going to read through the list here, but happy to take any questions on that. And then just to wrap it up here, we have in the program, we make a major effort to do everything we can to assist and enable you to get professional employment after graduation. My belief, I recognize that most students, not 100%, but the large majority of our students, that's their goal, is to be able to secure high quality professional employment in the field after graduation. So we try to target everything we do in the program to support that. We try to use the latest tools and technologies in our classes so you learn them and so that you can talk about them in interviews and put them on your resumes. And we try to do a number of offerings that go beyond the classes to enable to better enable that search and acquisition of an eventual professional career. These are just a couple. These are some screenshots from the Viterbi website here. Last summer on the left, we had a large group of our students, 30 or 40 of them. I see at least 1 or 2 of them here on the Zoom call now that participated with a Silicon Valley startup company called Allright. To work with them to do some testing of their new product line, which was a platform developing AI agents. And that was so successful that we're launching another such initiative here. And we're going to have our first meeting tomorrow with another 30 or 40 students. They're going to be working with this company. On the right is just a recent graduate student that we're quite proud of. He entered a national data science competition. I guess this was 2 years ago now, but to create an analytical model to help select the U.S. Olympic gymnastics team. It wasn't actually used. This was a competition. I don't want to claim that he picked the athletes, but he was one of the winners, one of the 3 finalists in this competition. We have this semester, just to give you a flavor, we have a number of projects going, with industries or related entities to give students real world activity. We have a program going now that's kind of my favorite because I'm a big college football fan. I don't know if anybody out there is, but we have 10 students or so working with the USC football program and working with their sports analytics director to develop basically a data warehouse and a data pipeline to handle all of the data that a major college or professional sports franchise collects and analyzes. And I see one of our students online here, I know is part of that group. Um, we have another initiative getting started with hospital here in the Los Angeles area, Keck Hospital, which is operated by USC, so that's a natural connection for us. And we have a number of students there that are working on early phases of a project to help with hospital operations, to do forecasting and predictive modeling, to understand to be able to predict, future demands on hospital facilities like operating rooms and other facilities. As I mentioned, we have this project starting up this week with this same Silicon Valley company, Allright, to work with their newly developed AI agent development tools. And see what else we have. We got a project going with Google now it's more research oriented to work with their TPUs, tensor processing units, and how to best incorporate them into analytics pipelines. So those are a few examples. And lastly, we have a very active ISC Analytics Student Association, and I see two of our three students, I believe, that are online now are officers in that organization, and they've been doing a terrific job at building a series of activities and building a community around networking, around professional development, and social interactions. These are a few screenshots from activities over the last several months, a mixer that was done at the end of last academic year. Another one is being planned for this academic year. There's a few photos from some of the events there. We bring in alumni from our analytics programs. In fact, this evening we have an event that the Student Association is putting on where we're having a manager come in from Peacock, a major entertainment company here in Los Angeles, who's going to talk about his organization and is going to talk about preparing students to do interviews and being successful at SQL interviews in particular. We do regular alumni panels where we bring back half a dozen or so recent alumni of the analytics program and just have them meet with the students and talk with them about their experiences in the professional world and answer questions. On the far right is the LinkedIn page for Analytics Student Association. And then on the bottom right is a private LinkedIn group that I manage and minister for our alumni and for our current students. When I made this screenshot, this was last year, and we had 458 members. We're now at about 550 members. And the intention is that to be a resource for building and maintaining a community of our alumni together with our current students for networking, for professional support. So with that, I will close by first of all offering if anybody would like to contact me, I'm more than happy to communicate with by email or by or even I get on a Zoom call or something with any of you. I'm sure Paula can give you my contact information if you desire. And lastly, I just want to wish you all the best. Congratulations. You got a major decision coming up in your lives. And if there's anything we can do to help make that decision easier, please let us know. So I'll turn it back over to Paula and introduce some of our other participants here.
Thanks, Dr. Wilcox. David, do you want to take over?
Sure. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Dr. Wilcox. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce our student panel today and ask them a few questions. So you've gotten the staff and faculty perspectives. So let's hear from some of your current students. So for the current students, if you could just go ahead, answer some of these basic questions of name, where you came from, hometown, and why did you eventually select USC?
Hi guys, I'm Santosh. So this is my third semester in USC and I joined in spring 25. So I'm from India, Tamil Nadu. If you have any questions, you can go ahead and ask me. I'm here from IASA, the student organization. So if you have any questions, ask me. And what are the students?
Hi, my name is Jin Qi, and this is my fourth semester and my last semester at USC. And I'm in the analytics program, and Professor Bruce is my professor for many classes. And I'm also the student ambassador working with Paula. And I came from Beijing, China, and I chose USC because the weather here and the location, and also the infamous Trojan Network. And to all the admitted students, congratulations, and we're looking forward to seeing you in the next semester.
And Shiki is one of my teaching assistants this semester.
Hi, my name's Ryan, and I'm from Taiwan. I'm also a second year student here at MS Analytics. Um, so right now I'm also working on a really cool football project with Professor Wilcox, and we're going through all these project discussion with the analytics director, just as Bruce just talked about. It was really exciting. So I feel like there's a lot of opportunities in our program. If you choose to join us, you would be exposed to a lot of opportunities here at Miss Analytics. So welcome.
I'm not sure if Ryan was a football fan before, but I think he is now.
I am now. I am now.
Great, thank you all. And then just turning to academics really quickly, tell us a little bit of uh, what classes are like, how demanding is the coursework, and how much time you spend outside of the classroom on your work.
I think for our major, the requirement for graduation is 28 units. So on average, in every semester, you take two classes. So apart from those two classes, you have many times on your own, like for you to do the job hunting process and to do the networking. So you have many free time, I would say, for you to uh, like just work wisely on yourself and uh, either do the job hunting or do the research with the professor.
I noticed every time I see Jinky, he's got a tennis racket sticking out of his backpack.
Yeah, Bruce always see me like with a tennis racket.
Yeah, I would say for me, it really depends on the courses, but overall, I would say I spend around um 10 hours per week on my coursework, and including course preparation, like review, homework, and all that kind of stuff. Especially in my second year right now, I am doing a lot of job hunting that kind of takes up most of my time in my life. But yeah, but I also feel like it's really like a balanced workload, especially if you're looking for like career transition right now. You definitely need to put a lot of time and effort into the job hunting part, so the coursework would not look too heavy, but also um, it would prepare the necessary skills for you and the adequate training for you to be prepared for the job hunting as well.
I would say that it depends on the course too. So what kind of courses you take, it depends on how much time you work because for like project-based electives and such, you might take some more time than the usual. But there are some introductory courses like fundamental courses which take up less time, but you have to work on it more because you have to learn more skills because it could be useful for your career searches and all. But overall, you'll be having ample lot of time for other activities you could do, and then career searches and so on.
Great. And I know a couple of you mentioned that you're working on internship, research projects. Some of you are involved in club organizations, maybe ambassadors. Can you tell us a little bit about that? And then how do you balance academics, personal, professional, while at USC?
I think for us, one of the first thing coming to USC is to looking for the summer internship for the incoming summer. And for the previous summer, I did first as a data scientist intern at a local manufacturing company, and then also I did the Alright AI agent project with Professor Bruce. And so the job hunting process is really tedious. Just keep believing in yourself and keep applying. Yes.
So for me, I remember my very first semester, I wanted to explore like the USC campus more. So I did participate like clubs outside of USC. You know, USC is like a huge, huge, huge social school where you can meet a lot of people, and like the social circle and everything is just it's just very different from other schools. So I remember like in the first semester, I tried to participate those kind of clubs that require a lot of commitment. So that did take up a lot of my time at my very first semester. But my following semester, I tried to transition back to my career focus. I participate more um, or major related, either it's a project or it's a club thing to enhance my career progress in my pursuit. So in order to balance that, I think sleep less. I'm joking, but it's just that there's just a lot of things. Um, Honestly, to be very, very honest, it's very hard to balance everything. But just scroll less, TikTok or anything like that. You know, just put all of your effort into something that you're very interested in and you want to pursue. That would be the best options. You know.
So for me, yeah, there are many other extracurricular stuff you can do in USC and many stuff to do in LA especially. But you'll get used to it. It's not hard managing too much. It'll be easy. We're all grad students here. We have done an undergrad, so it should be easy. Uh,
As Santosh mentioned, I don't know your exact title, but he's basically the leader now of our Analytics Student Association. I know he puts a lot of time and effort into that, and they're doing such a great job this year.
Yeah, so yeah, speaking of the organization, it's named IASA. And so what we do is we host social mixers, workshops, and bring back alumni, as Bruce mentioned. So what we want to build is to have students connection with industry experts, and also build a community among the students, analytics students, and other analytics interested students, so that we could like grow together.
Great. So my second to last question is related to the housing and neighborhood.
Mm.
Uh, One, how did you find housing and your roommates? And how do you feel about the surrounding campus? Do you feel safe on campus? If you could talk a little bit about that.
I live around USC, so like 15 minutes walk from my place to USC. So that's the first thing I like first thing I would consider like just like walkable to the campus. And but still, this is my last semester, and I just got a car. But the life is totally different with a car. Yes, and but parking on campus is kind of hard, and so I just park in my place and walk to campus every day. And for finding houses, I think there's many ways. You can find it on like Facebook group chat, and also a WeChat group chat, and also subleasing from someone. So and also for the safety, to be honest, at night it's not that safe. But USC we provide the free lift program every day from 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. So it's like a 2 miles free lift from the campus. So just take advantage of it. Before I have a car, I I took it every day, twice at least.
So I also live around the USC area. I live on the west side, around like 5 to 10 minutes walk um, to campus, and I think in general, in the morning it's definitely fine for you to walk around there, but because of the fact that at night, it's not the safest. So we have the free lift program from 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. just as Jerry just mentioned, for you to take this to keep you safe when you're traveling at night. I would say even though not having a car might be very, very inconvenient, but I also feel like the public transport here at LA is not the worst because I did take public transport to Malibu before, which is one of the greatest beach on earth. So I don't think that's the worst, even though it takes a little longer to get there, but it's definitely not the worst scenario. If you want to get somewhere, you still get there by public transport, but just to make sure that you don't travel at the South Central LA at night. Yeah.
So, regarding the housing, you'd say there are on campus, off campus, and on campus are mostly for undergrads, I guess. So when you apply for like, I mean, on campus in the campus, but if you offer for like USC housing, you'll be mostly placing outside the USC, not in the college. I got so how I found was I met community, like I met seniors of USC, and I just transferred to the lease. So regarding the safety, the campus is pretty safe, and surrounding campus it's safe. But yeah, you'll have to be aware of your surroundings during any time, and especially at night. The public transport is quite good. I've been on many times, and it's pretty fun to explore LA too. Yeah, it should be fine.
A number of our students I know live in, I guess all three of you guys live close to campus. A number of students live in downtown Los Angeles, which is only 2 miles away and is serviced by a train, a subway. Yeah, yeah. I mean, we're in the middle of a major city. You have to be smart, but the campus itself is, in my view, totally safe, and it's a beautiful campus, which that amazed me being in the middle of a city to have such a beautiful campus. You can see pictures if you're not able to visit.
One last question for our student panelists, and I think they've provided you with sage advice today. But I'm going to ask you to give your one last best tip for things you would have known or you should have known prior to arriving
Wish
at
you knew.
USC. Yeah, or do. That you wish you would have been told prior to arriving at USC.
My tip will be start applying for internships as soon as possible. And the amount really matters. So for me, the interview, the conversion rate is about 1%, and I believe it's happened to everyone, like my classmates. So just the amount first, and then try to land on interviews, and you're gonna improve and improve by interviews. So yeah, just it's a long process. It's a long way to go.
Just a comment on that. In the fall, when most of our students come in the fall, within the first month or so of the semester, we have an evening session on internships. The Viterbi Career Center does as well, but we have one specifically for our program, where we have about a half a dozen students, like Jinky last year, who had done an internship the previous summer, and are second year students, and kind of tell the students their experience in pursuing internships.
I mean, for me, I would say because I'm a people person, I really have to have my own community here, and I think that USC has a lot of people to meet, but also there are some social circles that are really hard to break into as well. So definitely be very, very proactive when you're trying to find your own people in your own community. Uh, um, and really have to reach out to people to talk to people, if you only and also I feel as if you want to have an internship or you eventually want to get a job here, it's really really important to have a support system around you so that you would have the drive to stay here and to be determined to pursue your own career here. Without a support system, you would be rather fragile. I would say so, yeah, because that would make you feel less likely to want to be here. So I feel like be proactive to find your own people, find your own community to make you be strong and stay here. Yeah.
It does, yeah, it does take proactivity. Graduate school is different than undergraduate. Undergraduate, you're there for 4 years. You usually live in a dorm, and it's kind of natural and easy. Graduate school, you have to make a little bit of an effort.
I would say one thing that I wish I knew before was networking. So networking is like quite various. It's a quite a unique thing. So basically, there are some people who are really good at networking. I've seen many people actively reach out to Trojan alumni. So one thing about Trojan alumni is that they're really strong. They really have what do you say? They have a strong feeling towards the USC. So if you go out and reach out to them, they'll be speaking to you, they'll be giving some insights and all. So that's one really good point about this thing. So I would say that yeah, go networking. So what you could do is just like search in LinkedIn for USC Trojan USC people, and then you could speak to them, know about the state and all. They'd be actively responding to you, and then you could learn more about the situation and everything too.
Great. Thank you, Jinky, Ryan, and Santosh for your contributions. I'm sure the incoming students appreciate the again sage advice that you provided them. And now I'm gonna turn it back to Paula.
Thanks, everyone. So you heard from all of our students, faculty, and advisors. At this time, if you have any questions, any last minute questions, please feel free to drop them in the Q&A. We also are sharing a couple links in the chat. So the chat is used for resources for you. And I know my colleague has sent out the Next Steps webpage for admitted students. And then Ryan, our advisor, ambassador, has also sent this Unibuddy chat, which I was actually going to send as well. But basically, two of our three students here are actually student ambassadors. They are available 24/7 via Unibuddy. So if you have any questions when we get off this call or at any point, you are free to message them, and they can help you out. You guys can chat them, or you guys can set up a Zoom call if there is a need, and they are happy to help you with that. The other thing I will drop in the chat is our contact information. So if anybody has any questions after this call, you guys can contact admissions directly. So let me just get that contact for you guys. But that being said, if there is no other last minute questions, I do just want to say thank you so much for joining wherever you are. Again, some of you guys might be across the world. And then again, a big thank you to all of our support here. So faculty, advisors, students, my colleagues as well. And I have no other information but to welcome you. Super excited if you decide to join USC. And we are here to support you along the way. Please do know that. And we are here to answer any questions that you may have, regardless if it's this webinar or if we get off this webinar. But like we say here, we will end this call with a fight on, and we will catch you guys next time. Fight on.
Fight on.